Okay, good afternoon. I'm here this afternoon. My name is Tirimi Kadishala. I want to appreciate those that have subscribed to my channel. I sincerely appreciate that. It will be easy for me to do video from my channel if I have 1,000 subscribers, and you will be helping me to earn something while I give you information. We'll be helping each other. Thank you so much. This afternoon, I just choose to discuss, since my last topic, since we discussed the shea butter, I've received several calls, messages, and everything from people that were asking about the African black soap. You remember I just briefly mentioned it, African black soap. Now you see they call it outside the. It's funny. Most of our things we are not the one that give them name. Somebody possibly named them for us, as in African black soap. Imagine the white just name it African black soap because it comes from Africa. Now in Africa, we are the one that produce the black soap, and you know why they call it black soap? Because it's always dark and whatever. But do you know you can produce a soap? You can produce it that it will not be dark. Now African black soap, how is it produced? Most people don't know. I will explain how we produce black soap here. I try to make a video about it some other time, and I'm still trying to see if I can do some other things. Okay, so African black soap is produced from mainly two ingredients. One, palm kernel oil. You have palm kernel oil, adin dudu, no, palm kernel oil is not adin dudu. Palm kernel oil is extracted from palm. That palm, if you harvest the palm, after removing the oil, the red oil, the kernel, that hard stone that we use stone to pound, and that thing that we use stone to pound, that is the kernel. So it is the oil is extracted from that kernel, and that is why it's dark. It's always dark. I think it's kind of form of that. I'm looking at. I think I have it. I'm trying to check it. So the palm kernel or the adin is somehow dark. So that's why it is kernel. It is removed from the kernel of palm. So that's why people call it PKC. In the rural side there, they call it nyanko or nyanko. That's one ingredient of African, how to make black soap. The second ingredient that you need is potash water. Potash water is called omiaro. I know there was a day somebody was asking me if they can use omiaro to dye their clothes. I said no, it's quite different. I don't know, in Yoruba they call it omiaro, but it's potash water. This omiaro is produced from ashes. You know, your firewood, when you are burning firewood in the kitchen, when you burn, those women that use in the village, this is what's happened. When they are cooking, the wood leave ashes, eru. So those ashes are what is packed. The ashes is what is packed, and there's another process for it. You go through the process of the ashes. There's the way they add water, and they drain the water. It is that water that is drained from the ash that is now parboiled over time to give us potash water, to give us that omiaro. Now that omiaro is highly acidic or poisonous, or how do I say it? So you don't allow it to touch your skin or whatever, but it is made from natural thing. So that omiaro and the PKC, palm kernel oil, is what palm kernel oil. Yes, I was correct. Palm kernel oil is adin dudu. For people that grew up in the village, adin, that dark one, adin dudu, is extracted from kernel of palm. So that omiaro and palm kernel oil is what is poured in a pot, in an aluminum iron pot, in an iron pot, and is cooked over time. And after several hours, it becomes solidified. And when it becomes solidified, it gives you your African black soap. So simple. Actually, I tried writing about it. I wrote a book. Don't mind me. I always have abandoned. I wrote halfway and I leave it. I wrote a book on how to produce African black soap in your home. How to do it, to produce by yourself. It's very, very simple. I don't know why people make it so difficult. You just need two ingredients: the omiaro and you need the palm kernel oil, which is adin dudu, that dark adin. Yes, they sell the two. Once you have the two, you can produce African black soap yourself. Now, why do we call it African black soap? It's really funny. Like I said, the Europeans, all these people, they really fancy that soap. They love it because they know it's natural, it has no chemical, and it's cleansing. When I said it's cleansing, it removes the outer layer, it's exposed, you understand, it allows your skin, it's very good for the skin, our African black soap. So they name it African black soap, and also we too, we stay with it and we start calling it African black soap. Actually, in Yoruba, it's called Oshedudu, but for me, it's black soap, black soap. Now, there's something I've noticed. You find everybody will be shouting Ghana soap, Ghana soap, Ghana soap. Why Ghana soap? You produce, you see, just like why Ghana soap is produced in Nigeria. African black soap is produced in so many places in Nigeria, as in my rural side here, we produce it, many women produce it around there, and they sell it. It's natural, ashes and palm kernel. That is how black soap is produced. So why don't we make it Nigerian black soap instead of Ghana soap? Ghana soap. It's actually Nigerian soap. We produce our own in Nigeria, so why name it Ghana soap? Now, what are the benefits? Why am I bringing this topic up? You see, most of us, there's a little challenges with us. We spend so much on buying imported soap, Joy, Lux, whatever. A bar of Joy now is like one something naira, just tiny one. Meanwhile, if you buy 100 naira of African black soap, you use it for a very long time, and it's highly even more beneficial to your skin than the ones you are buying. The only difference in our African black soap is that it doesn't have fragrance. You know what I mean? They didn't add any fragrance, smell, or whatever to it. But you can do that yourself. So we have our African black soap. Now, for people that have been asking me, I told you, I showed you my skin. I'm always having spots. For people that really know me very well, I've been trying to look for a video, a picture where the guy was asking me. There was a picture where the guy was asking me if I did tattoo. I think that was in 2018. I took a picture at a show in Lagos, and my hand was like this. You can see the hand. My hand was, and it was black spot all through. So he thought it's tattoo. I will find the picture. I will definitely find the picture out. And the guy just assumed it's a tattoo. He said, and I told him, no, it's not tattoo. It's actually mosquito tattoo, as in their mosquito bite. We discussed it in the shea butter video I did. Please, you can go to my timeline and get through it. So that mosquito bite, I mentioned how some of us are friendly to mosquito. How when mosquito bite us and it bites somebody else, our home will leave some spots on the skin for a very long time. And that was what the guy saw on my skin then, as of then. And he assumed they are tattoo. I assume I did tattoo. So now since the day I did the shea butter, several people have been contacting me. How do I remove the spot from my skin? How do I, those black spots and everything? I'm going to use this system today to explain what you need to do, what you need, and what you need to do. You just read them. I would even tell you some small quantity of it. I may not be able to sell you the specific quantity, but I'll tell you how much they are selling, the size you will mix. In my local area here, I don't know of Lagos, things are different from what we have here. Now, if you really want to remove dark spots or all these skin rashes, or even pimples, eczema, and all these things, you want to remove it from your skin, don't mind me. I don't really bother much about it. I only use black soap to bath. I hardly even use the shea butter, and shea butter remove a lot of spots. So what you need is, one, you need your African black soap, the original natural African black soap. Now, if you have your natural African black soap, I've told you what African black soap does to the skin. It exfoliates the skin. Exfoliate as in remove the dirty layers and everything. I even learned it cleanses more than some other cleansers that people are buying. Women, us, we pay so much getting some cleansers and everything. But African black soaps cleanses more than that, and at an affordable cost. So what you now need is sulfur. Sulfur is called imi ojo or imi orun, depending on the area you get it. It's yellow in color. I have here, but I've blended it. It's yellow in color, so you buy sulfur, you blend it. Then there's something we call camwood. Camwood is extremely good to mix with your soap. Camwood smoothing the skin. Camwood is ocean. In Yoruba, when they are praying for, maybe somebody will say, Yawa Foshun Palmo, or something of that nature, You know, so ocean is a very good thing. It's recommended for babies. Yes, babies. It's let their skin, it's smoothing their skin and everything. So camwood, ocean, you also need it to make your spot remover. Then the next thing you need for your spot remover is something we call negro pepper. Negro pepper is negro pepper is uda. It's called uda. It's called negro pepper is called uda in the Igbo language, and in Yoruba it's called eran alomo. Eran alomo. I'm trying to bring it out for people that will see it here. You can see it. This is what I don't know if you can see it. This is what is called negro pepper. You see. Let me put it. You can see. It's also edible. They use it for spices, for cooking, and everything. It's edible. Yeah. Negro pepper is useful. You see, there's a lot of health benefit to it. The negro pepper is used for so many things. I don't know why we don't really go out to look for this thing. So it's also good for your skin. The negro pepper for pimples, for all these things. So by the time you mix those three, like for instance now, by the time you get maybe if you buy black soap, depending on where you are buying, like the quantity we always have around there. If you have the black soap, you mix with, you don't need even the sulfur, you don't need more than like 100 or 200 naira. The same thing with the negro pepper, like 100 or 200 naira, and then you blend it together. Canwood, you might need about 500 naira canwood, depending on where you are buying. Then you blend them together and mix with your black soap. By the time you mix them together with your black soap, you can be using it to bath. And believe me, you can give me feedback in the next 1 month. You'll be amazed. Your skin will be smooth. Then all those black spots, you can use canwood powder. You can Erualomo, yes, thank you very much. Erualomo is very good, extremely good. Apart from the skin, it's used for so many things. It's used for people that are asthma. I don't want to start mentioning all these things. I don't know why people are not reading it up. It's used for it's used for skin. It's used for so many health issues. Asthma, for people that want to lose weight, for people that want to shed weight. It's used for a lot of things. But for the skin, you blend it along with it and mix it with your black soap. Honestly, your skin will change. It has helped me. I'm even candidly, in my own case, I even still stay with the mosquitoes. People that are outside, if they are able to use that thing, as in they use those mixtures, as in, and they are not exposed to mosquitoes again. Unlike me, that I live inside mosquito, farm, pests, So if they are not exposed to mosquitoes again and they use those things, honestly, you have a beautiful skin. If I told you, I mentioned recently, a friend of mine that has seen me for a very long time, when he saw one of my videos, was like, Kilolo, what did you use? I didn't even count it because I was not using it regularly, except from the soap I used to bath, which is mixed up. I use daily. I don't bother using cream, shea butter. I don't bother about anything. But so with those, you'll be able to change your color. You'll be able to maintain a good skin. And then somebody was asking me if shea butter darken. Yes and no. Shea butter is, if you use shea butter and you are moving around in the sun and everything, it's tan. For people that want to, like all these white people that want to tan and everything, shea butter is good for tanning. So it's better, they're advisable to use shea butter when you are not exposing yourself to the sun. It's a tanning, moisturizing something. So you see, these are more a lot that we need to understand. By the time, for pimples, you can use this mixture of soap. You can use for pimples. You can use for acne. What is ifo? People that have those that will be on the body most time. Ifo, pimples, and so many things. Dark spots. You can use this mixture for it and just use it. Make it a normal something for you. Make it a usual. Let it be your regular soap instead of buying other soap. Just our black soap. We have our natural things that are really very good for us. So if you use that and more, honestly, your skin will change. It's recommended for babies. It's recommended for anything. It is now when you want to turn it to lightening soap, as in you want to make it a lightening soap. That is when you can now start adding, our local egg, raw egg. If you mix it with it, now you are turning to lightening. You want to lighten up and everything. But for normal skin, you just want your skin to be fresh, to be smooth, exfoliations and everything. You just use the other ones I mentioned. The sulfur, the negro pepper, and the camwood, plus your black soap. You have a good thing you have a good soap. And your skin, you won't even need to bother to look for any soap again once you can use that. So it is really very, very advisable to do the mixture that way. And like I said, I don't know what quantity how they are selling out there, but in my place here, to mix something, you just need with 1,000 naira black soap, 2,000 naira black soap, plus 100 naira negro pepper, that's uda or enrualomo, then plus the 100 naira, 500 naira canwood, because canwood is a bit expensive too. With 3,000, you do a soap that will last you for how many, you and your family for several weeks. You don't need to bother yourself, not even weeks, for months. You with just some, you for months, natural soap, no chemical, no additive, no anything, natural soap, and you'll be glad for it. To be candid, when I was telling people my skin, my spots, somebody testified in my shea butter class, my shea butter live video, my spots was from childhood, as in at some point I don't wear skirts. I don't want wear I don't even, I adopt, so I'm not used to wearing skirt. I wear trousers, long trousers. Even hands, I don't expose my skin, I don't expose anything, because it's, you just see people will be asking you, what's this, at some point people have recommended so many things. Is it traditionally, is this medically, and every other thing. Test nko, I've done so many things, and yet all the spots are there. At some point I said, no way, I'm not taking anything again, as in I'm not even swallowing anything or using anything again until I got to our rural side there. So it was when I got here. Normally, I was not even searching for anything. I was not looking for anything until I met all those babas. It's not that they would just see me. Maybe I wear one short skirt. Say your hand. What's happening? Can you go? And then they start recommending all those things. And they've been working. It works. They really works. Then another thing you can add, yes, the new one for me. Is a really new one for me. And when I read about it, it was surprising. It's cactus. Honestly, I don't know what they call it in Yoruba. I don't know the Yoruba name or the other name. Cactus is a tree, is a plant. I recently planted it on my farm. If by the time I start, I don't know, most times on the farm I'm always busy, and on the farm I can't do live video with my phone because of the network. If not, I will have been showing this thing practically. Let me see if I can get some other type of network, so that it's not that I will just be, you'll be watching me or I'll be explaining, but I'll be showing you the plants, like I just planted cactus on my farm, and should have been, it was one elderly man too that I just saw and said, look, mix cactus with lomo again, with negro cactus, blend it with negro pepper plus camwood plus sulfur, and use it. Simple. That's what they recommend for me. When they even promised me will get me something, I was thinking they will ask me one big thing. No. So what I'm saying in essence is we have little things that could make a lot of difference, instead of the chemicals, instead of the creams, instead of imported things, instead of expensive things. So these are the things. That's why I said, let me just use this opportunity. Several people have been calling me. I'm also trying, I don't know if I have the chance, I'm trying to put it down in a small book. Now I'm promising, because a lot of people keep asking me. So instead of me repeating and saying, go and do this, just put it down in a small book. The mixtures, how you can mix it, how you can use it, and for different things. Like the lomo is, in fact, I don't even know where to start with when I discover this. It's used for so many things. It's used as spices. It's edible. But apart from that, it's used for treating asthma. It's used for, there are 1,000 things you can use it for. And believe me, it's like we don't even know it. It took me several months to discover lomo is the same thing as negro pepper, or is the same thing as uda. In the eastern part, I think they use it a lot, because I thought they were the only one that have it until I started researching for it. They use uda. I don't know the pronunciation very well, don't mind me. They use it a lot in the eastern part, and it's very healthy. You can Google it. See, just go online. Anything I tell you, just Google it, and you'll be amazed at the benefit. So, guys, we should try. It's used for a lot of things. The same thing with sulfur. I understand. Do you know that all your hair cream and everything, sulfur is there? It's used for dandruff. It's used for, like I said, sulfur is called imiorun. Some people call it imiorun. Some people call it imiojo. It's sulfur. It's yellow in color and everything. I think I'll bring them up and show. So you really need all these things. You really need to know the benefit and the use. And they are natural. They are from natural source. The same thing with canwood. Canwood is produced from the bark of a tree, a pogi. It's red in color and whatever. They use it for babies. It's good for babies. It's recommended for baby skin. So when it's recommended for baby skin, you should know it's good for adults too. It's just because they know we don't care, we don't bother. So anything that's recommended for babies is good for adults too, for your skin. So, and like I said, Uda is used for people that want to shed weight, people that I think it helps with the blood system. It helps with the blood. Uda is good for, it helps in the blood system to, So please just read more on these things. I'm not a medical practitioner. I just picked the one I felt would be useful to me, and like the essence, why I picked the Huda and everything. My whole interest in it is based on because it is used for skin spot. The skin is not that intentionally start. It was because, like I said, O group, blood O group. If you are in blood O group, I think O positive group. Yes, you can read it. We are mosquito friendly. Mosquito friendly means mosquito love to suck your blood. Yes, I'm in that group, and it's something that, like the day I was saying, I've known. My mom has that thing too, but since she has been using shea butter with the black soap and everything, her skin is smooth now. And there was somebody too on my video the other time. She testified to it. She actually got those things from me. I got it, blend it, and send it to her in Lagos. When she saw my skin, I told her about I told you somebody was asking me if I tattoo my skin, and they were mosquito bite. I'll get the picture. I think I'll get the picture out. It's about 3 or 4 years ago. So it was, and so if you know my skin then and now, there's a difference, and that's what I've been using. Like, I don't use cream, I don't buy cream, I don't buy anything. I make sure I mix my black soap, and every day you must have your bath, and I use it. If you cannot take another step and use shea butter along with it, oh boy. So these are the things we really need to, and this thing doesn't cost much. They didn't cost us much, and they are not going to take much from us. They prevent us from using chemicals and all these things, and it's good. If you have neighbors or everything, you can introduce it to them. These are the things I just feel this afternoon. Let's talk about African black soap. Actually, we shouldn't even be saying African black soap. It's Nigerian black soap. It's produced in Shaki. Not only Shaki, in Osun State, they produce a lot of black soap. Do you know the funny thing? People that are staying outside the country fancy more of these things than we that are here, because they eventually know the benefit. A friend of mine, maybe about a year ago or last year, I sent him a small pack of shea butter. He took it out to his location, he traveled out he went with it. He was using it for his babies, and the skin was very fine and everything. After that, he said he bought, but it was not good, and every other cream was not even good for them. He asked me, look, Inka, help me send a bigger one, a bigger size. I recently sent it to him, shea butter, the bigger size, and he was telling me by now you should have received it outside there, because he said that they can't even use anything again because it affects their baby skin. One of my colleagues' friends too in Canada. Right now, I'm looking for how to send to Canada. Because the baby I learned is reacting to some other creams and everything. Meanwhile, the shea butter I sent to them some years ago was really very good for the skin. So, so right now, if you are here, you have that opportunity, I think you should go for all these natural things. They really help us. They prolong our health too. They help us other than using all this other one. So if I'm not having any question here, I'll just call it a day. You can watch over the video again. You can check it again. I don't announce when I will come online, because I don't even know my timetable myself, because I just go to farm and come back and I don't know whatever. So please, if you just come, you see it, you can watch the video, you can share with your friends and every other thing. And please, if you are here, I have a YouTube page. You can help me. See, on YouTube, until you have 1,000 subscribers, you may not be able to do live video directly. Like I said, I'm doing this for free. We are both benefiting from it. So please help me to subscribe so that I can do my videos directly on my YouTube. And I can earn, even if it's one naira, you will have blessed me as I'm blessing you. Thank you so much. And let's look forward to another topic. For next summer, I'm thinking, somebody has been asking me about irrigation. I don't know. I may discuss about irrigation and some other things too. It depends on whatever my mood or the questions that people ask. People have been asking me about what does it cost to set up an acre irrigation for any crop. I'll just do a general something on it. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching, and you're welcome. SAS.